chick that messing with your dog, that law. If you come up, don't forget about your dog, that law. I'm a street, so it's the law. If you broke, that should be against the law.
What it do, G Squad? Welcome back to Double GTV. This your man Reggie. Today, me and my wife, LA, and my daughter, Auntie Kaay, and my boy J-Mac, we actually gonna be doing a DIY, making ourselves a chair actually. Y'all know we've been working in the backyard. We've been doing a lot of DIYs, getting this thing together. So, today we back at it again. We're gonna be making us a chair. We're gonna be making us an outside table, man. It's gonna be like nothing other. Make sure y'all like, definitely hit that subscribe, man. Make sure y'all watch to the end.
Me and Reg, the girl LA, back at it again. Still doing some home improvements on our backyard. And this is a little something that I saw on YouTube on how to use cinder blocks to make benches for your patio. So that's what I'm getting into. As you see, I've already set up my bottom parts of my cinder blocks for my patio. The seat will be 4 feet apart, 4 feet. So I made sure I checked that out to make sure the right measurements and everything before setting my cinder blocks and gluing together. So now that we have our bottom pieces laid and glued together, I'm going to start with our top frames. So on our 2 lower levels, like I was saying, I've already laid our 2 bottom layers, which are facing with the holes up. But for our next layer, we want our holes to be out. So I'm going to get to the gluing. I don't want my part with my crease to be outward. I want those inward. So I need to make sure I do that. As you see, I placed glue on this inner piece. I'm going to do the same for this one. Now, I'm just going to do the same on this one too, guys. Place my glue where the groove is on those sides. You want those to be inward, not outward. Or if you prefer them to be outward, that's fine too. It's all up to you. Use your own imagination. That in place, this is our actual piece that our 4x4s will be inserted into. And we're actually going to stain our 4x4s and get them all nice and glossed up before putting those in. Apply some more pressure, make sure it's nice and tight. What you see, your man Reggie already got me prepared. Reggie, guys.
What it do, G Squad? See, my wife done took over. I guess I'm gonna be helping.
Yeah, he's my assistant today. I did it just to apply some pressure.
That's not right.
Yes, it is.
That's not. How the thing gonna go in the back of it?
Jesus Christ, he's right.
See, two minds are better than one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put the holes over here, shorty. Oh, that adhesive was adhesive in, huh?
It was.
Yeah, you might want to put some extra on there.
Yeah, let's
Teamwork make the dream work, y'all. Good thing
Yes,
I came
it
out
do.
right on time, man. Yo, she don't really need me, but I'm gonna be helping anyway. Nah, but hopefully y'all learning something, man. We really been taking the most, doing the most that we could of this backyard. I'm sitting down on the job, watching my wife work. Ain't nothing like a working woman. Guess what today is?
Working woman. No, it's not. It's Tuesday.
Ha! It's Wednesday somewhere.
Excuse me, sir. Well, while you're sitting, can you place that there, please?
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks.
Women always so demanding. You already told him what time it is, baby?
Yes, sir. I explained all that to him. Add this up here to apply some more pressure to make sure that he's nice and tight.
So that's the only one that goes back there?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
The only thing we really about to do now is we're going to seal the wood, man. I got a little water seal. We'll go and paint that up pretty much.
So by the time we finish sealing the wood up, you can start painting. That's right, we said it. Painting our cinder blocks. We could leave it like this, but why not a pop of color? Okay? And this is what your girl LA wants. So we'll be back with y'all in a sec.
We're going to be waiting on her little stuff to dry over there. Wait for the cinder blocks and the adhesive over there to dry while that's set up. Because obviously, as you can tell, woo, it's hot time. I'm going to put some of this Thompson water seal on here, man. Just to, keep your wood good. Y'all know what's up, man. You been around for a while? You know about Thompson. If you don't, you're going to learn today. So I got the multi-purpose kind because we doing like concrete, wood, we do all kind of stuff. We do concrete, wood, bricks, fences, obviously, because that's wood too. So, Thompson water seal. You can get it at your local hardware store or maybe Lowe's. And everybody got Lowe's or Home Depot too. I just prefer Lowe's. Of course, we put it on a little pallet. So it don't be all over the ground. And plus, I can paint three sides like this. So what I'm gonna do is go on and separate them out a little bit so I can kind of get in between all of them. This one is ugly. You won't see it like that. Man, Reggie, get it right. Like I say, however, I'm still gonna have to paint three sides and let it dry. So, whatever. Want to use gloves? Use them. You don't? Don't. Got that dry wood. Put something on the top too, y'all. You can see it's soaking it in there. Of course, you still want to get treated wood, but you still want to, brush your little wood stuff, man. Looks milky. If you can't remember where, do your top. Do your little top first, and then just paint one whole side first. I know I was kind of painting a little bit more than that, but I kind of been doing this, so more than likely I won't forget. The thing I do like about it is it's gonna help seal the wood up and whatever, but it's gonna give it that rich, natural look to it. We're really trying to make this backyard our own. In all honesty, I might end up painting this again. I come back, I'm gonna put a second coat on. Like I said, we're gonna flip it because one side didn't get painted. You know what I'm saying? We in the next swimwear. Holla at your boy.
Now we're gonna head back over to our cinder blocks and start painting the cinder blocks. I'm so excited. So now I'm just taking me some sandpaper. I got a couple spots where my oozed out on me. So I'm just gonna sand it down and try and smooth it in with the cinder blocks. Got Valspar Storm Coat exterior paint, guys, exterior paint, and our color is classic teal. That's the color, with a semi-gloss added to it so to give it a nice little shine. Before you open your paint, you want to shake it really good. Make sure you do this before you open your paint, people. Alright. Just gonna use one of these extra brushes to sweep off my cinder blocks to make sure I get any excess loose cinder block off so it won't be all in my paint and stuff. And I know it's excess loose pieces because I can hear it falling off as I I will say, if you live somewhere hot like us, and you don't like the heat, this is not for you. Go right on ahead and pay you somebody to do the work for you. But why pay somebody when you can do it yourself and save money? It's all about saving. The color we're going with, classic teal. Yes, it's nice and bright, but we're some nice and bright people. So while Auntie Kaay and I are finishing up, yes, I'm in a chair now. Not old, but my knees are not what they used to be, okay? So yes, I do have a chair. But while we finish this up, Reg and J Mac are gonna do another seal on our 4x4s.
So y'all, after we put our little one coat of the Thompson's water seal on them, we came back and we putting some bullseye shellac. Let me see. That shellac is very sticky, y'all. Little bullseye, man. Hey, check it out, man. It really makes a difference. It's also a sealant too, but you can never have enough sealant. It's gonna be outside, so you know how that go. Do the right thing. Put it on there nice and thick, man. Like we found out, sticky icky. Sticky icky. So be prepared. Actually, you probably want to use some gloves. I'm gonna even recommend that you use some gloves. Although I'm not using gloves because I already got my hands sticky. So I just figured, hey, let's get it, you know. If you ever see, I'm just doing the top. I'm only doing the top because I already need the other sides. Like I say, y'all, it's very sticky. I didn't put on gloves at the moment because I already messed up and kind of started out without gloves on. So I just finished without gloves on.
Can't be slacking.
G Squad, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I owe my baby big time because I'm working the hell out of him for about 3 weeks in his backyard. But I can say when we're all done, he'll thank me and he'll love me in the morning. G Squad, bug food, get me. They trying to get me. So G Squad now, I know y'all thought it was over, but no, now we are painting our sides for our table because we are making a center block table also. And once we're finished with this table, you guys will be so surprised at the outcome of it because hubby and I are gonna do some resin painting for our tabletops. So stay tuned.
Alright, G Squad, we back at it again, man. As y'all can see, I got my girl Hazel out here with me. He really pretty much painted all the bricks, all the center blocks or bricks, whatever you want to call them. I really laid them down and made how I wanted the table to be laid out or whatnot, and painted only the outside. Wanted to make sure that this part was dry so that when I start putting it down this morning, it won't get my patio messed up. I don't want to get the paint on that. So that's what we're going with this. Like I say, all good and dry. That's what you really want. Alright, let's get to it. With these bricks right here, like I say, we're going to be making the table. Y'all just stay tuned. We're going to get it popping. What I actually am going to do now, though, is go ahead and finish doing my chair first. In order to do that, I'm going to move this plastic. What I want to do, put these so far so good. Like, hey, I'm chilling. Nice size, big man chair. Nice and comfy for my butt. I like it. Definitely sturdy. Alright, let me get to work, man. Y'all see, it's coming together pretty good, man. A little D.I.Y. Now let's get to this table. Alright, so to be honest, really just need to start off with a corner. Boom! Get y'all a little close up. So that's what it looks like, after I put, all the faces out, all the painted faces out. Got your little space in between. As y'all can see, I got over there. I'm gonna add my second layer, paint those. So we're gonna start wrapping this project up, baby. All DIY. All stuff we can all do. Let's get it, folks. Alright, y'all. So, you don't ever stack your bricks like exactly over top of each other. Don't ever stack them like this. like where it's exactly over top. It makes it stronger when they're kind of off balance. So, making sure they stay straight. Boom. Alright y'all, so basically, y'all just saw me put it together. This is our table. Can't see the whole vision yet, but it's coming. But while I let this set up and dry or whatever, take some measurements on this because obviously, now yeah, I'm sitting on it or whatever. Just, it's gonna be sturdy, but it's gonna make us a little bottom and get us some cushion and stuff for this. This is gonna be a real chair. I'm gonna measure the whole bottom part. By 52. That's the way we go with it. 27, 52. Measure it out. But y'all got a tape measure. Not really that complicated. You need your little saw, straight edge, something to cut on. So remember what I said. I hope y'all wrote y'all measurements down. I needed 52 inches long, which I already measured out my little 52 inches. Take and measure that out. 2. Use a pen or pencil, whatever you're comfortable with. Just making sure that you do 52. Now, if you really want to, you need a 52 in the middle. Make one more line now. Don't need to know it's straight. All my lines should be on my line. Now I'm trying to line up. Up on that line, but you want that line to still make sure that line is lining up with 52. If it's not, you want to make it line up with it. That's how you get your straight line. Now, I know it's 27 inches across. Luckily, this is a big ruler if you don't have a straight edge. Take your tape measure out, re-measure. But if I'm going 27, line back up on my line. Mark it at 27. Okay. Like I did with the tape measure, no different. Make sure you on the edge. sure if y'all have a cutting bench or whatever. If you don't have a cutting bench, it's okay. Like I'm using a pallet. Like I'm hitting that pallet up underneath. I'm a little tall, so I can do this. If not, like I say, it work better if you got a table saw, yeah, or bench. Look at that. Got your nice piece. Now, like I say, it's composite board, so you probably want to paint it, prime it, so that it will last longer, basically. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece off. Well, you don't want to do what I just did, but it's all good. Now I'm gonna go get my little paint primer, a little blower, blow the dust off. I'm gonna paint these white, get it in. All right, y'all. Like I said, man, it's gonna be my seat. I'm gonna go ahead and put some primer on this. It's composite board, man. It's gonna be outside, so I always recommend you prime or paint anything, you know, that's gonna be outside. It just to help it out in the long run. Keep it away from it being weathered, pretty much. Alright, and using pretty Valspar semi-glosses and storm coat and some stuff I already had around the house. I was actually painting some 2x4s and trimming around the house. So I already had this. No need to go buy some more. Work just like a charm. Alright, y'all, so remember our board that we primed or whatever? This is it. See that you measure it right and you sit in there. And if you didn't, you have some complications. There you have it. Oh shit, like I say, sit right in there like that. But we in there. Alright, y'all. Now we're gonna measure our table so we can do our top. So what I got? 39. 39 and 1/8 actually. Same way as we did the last one. Anyway, that's that. Now, this right here, it should be the tabletop now. If you measured it correctly, hopefully you did, it's gonna fit straight on now. So, I'm gonna blow some of this dust off here and figure that out. Side really don't matter. Oh, let's see what you get. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the top. I'll show you how we're gonna put the finesse on there so we can make sure it don't move and stuff like that. Got something for it. Alright y'all, so this is where I said we was gonna make those side pieces. So it make it like a top. So you don't have to worry about the top sliding and you don't gotta like glue the top down to the table. So that's what we're about to do now. Your measurement's gonna be the same. If you already just measured it and cut it, it's gonna be measured and cut the same way. I'm gonna do a 2-inch wide. I'm gonna do a 3 inches wide. Save this piece for something else. It's long enough. I don't have to cut this one so many different ways. This is already what I need for two sides. I said, why the hell? Yes, sir. 3 inches, people. That's it. One more. Keep that one for something else. Like I say, right now, the only thing we're doing is marking it at the 3-inch mark. 3, 6, 9. Time at the very end. 3, 6. Over.
What up, G Squad? It's your girl LA. Back to one more project in my backyard. So, my bad. I should have been had you guys on here with me, but I wanted, my husband and I wanted to make a cushion for our bench because even though that looks nice, it ain't comfortable on the rear end. So all we did was took a What's this board called, huh?
Nah, they already saw me cut the board and stuff.
Oh, well. See, he already cut the board up for me and painted it and everything. And then I just went in to Hobby Lobby and got me some nice cushiony foam and picked out a fabric that I like, that I thought would go great with our color theme. And so what I've done is place my cloth on the ground, cushion to the cloth, and then my wood piece. And now all I'm doing is stapling my fabric onto my board. Okay. My finished look. Cute. I think what I might do for the back piece, even though it's not bad on the back at all or anything like that, but I think I might get me a little couple throw pillars to throw up there to accent it a little more.
Now we're just putting a Alright y'all, so once you put your tabletop together, put your little boards on there, we're going to take and, fill in the gaps, put some wood filler in there. Gonna put up some wood filler. I don't know if y'all can see that, hopefully. Yeah, something like that. But we're going to put wood filler in there, however, and sand it down in certain little spots, and then we're going to repaint it again. Then we're going to get busy on our other project part of it. I'll see what's going on. It's coming together. Look like it's going to rain again. So, we on it though. Alright y'all, so we back for our last and final day of our backyard project. This is the top that we built yesterday. We done primed our composite board. Put our wood filler in there. Now we just wiping it off because we had a little rain last night, so we let it dry overnight.
We had a lot of rain last night.
Yeah. Like I say. So basically that's your composite board. We took the leftover pieces of composite board and cut it in 3-inch strips, to match the size so that our table top is like a top, an actual top. It's more like a box top. So now let y'all see it's all white, but we actually gonna be putting the final touches on this table today.
Alright guys, like I said, we on our last little project. To finish off our table, we are going to do us a resin table. And so the supplies we need was, of course, our clear casting and coating resin. If you wanted to do color, your color pigments, we're going to be going with our teal and purple. Could just leave it clear, but we would like to add some color to accent the chair and table. So we're going to use a teal and purple and a black. Most places don't sell the powder in black, so they have the liquid kind. So we got that. And then we also have our silver glitter, and it's going to add a little sparkle. If you guys choose to use this, don't use just a regular glitter. You want to make sure you get the extra fine. extra fine. And the difference is with this, we're not going to add it with the resin. We're actually going to use, I guess you guys see that, alcohol, 70%. It must be 70%. Mix the 70% in your spray bottle and your glitter. Shake it up real well, and it's going to give a shimmer to our resin. And of course, we got our cups laid out for our colors and little measuring cups to make sure that we're measuring out equal parts. It needs to be equal parts in order for the resin to set up correctly. We'll be back with you in a sec.
Yep, resin.
And correction on my terms earlier. I was saying resin. It's resin, guys. Blooper for you guys. So, like I said, you're going to always use equal parts of your part A, resin, and part B. Okay?
Alright, G Squad, while she doing that too, man, it's important that wherever you gonna do your little resin or whatever you want to call it, well, wherever you're gonna do your resin, just make sure it's gonna be level. You wanna make sure it's on level ground. This is a level. You can get one at Lowe's or Harbor Freight. They probably cost about $4 to $5, just depending on what kind you want. Put it anywhere on there. Look for the bubble in the middle. Y'all should pretty much know. Just check a little bit everywhere. Making sure wherever you getting it, wherever you're doing it at, it's level.
It is key that it's level so that your tabletop is level.
Make sure you put you some plastic down. This stuff get
On anything that you have your product on, it's gonna stick to it.
yeah,
And it's possible that it may not come off.
it's a definite.
I'm gonna move this stuff out the way so we can get ourselves taped. And if you guys are wondering what we're saying, you're gonna tape your ends to start off.
So I actually got construction tape, masking tape. Don't use painter's tape because they said
Blue painter's tape.
Yeah.
Don't use blue painter's tape.
it's gonna stick in the table. Well, it won't seal it basically. You want something that's gonna put a seal on it. So
The blue painter's tape will cause your resin to run before you want it to run down on your sides. It's not strong enough to adhere. Go around it twice. The main thing is you want to make sure that it's definitely on the edges here. This is touching.
pinch your corners. I guess it helps to hold the strength, give a little bit more tension on your tape. Okay.
Right.
So 2 rounds to make your barrier. Hey guys, Scotch tape, don't forget.
Now we're back to the resin. I'm gonna pour all of this in. Get on in my bucket. See, it's nice and thick. The clear one this is the coating. The clear one is actually a little thinner than this one. How much resin you use is like I said, the casting, the coating is a little clearer. Where it's a little, it's not a stick. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But just like we did for our colored pigments, you use the same amount for your tabletop also. If you don't use the correct measurements, there's chances that you're gonna have an ass load of air bubbles, or it's just not gonna come out exactly what you was expecting. I'm gonna let Reggie stir this together because just looking at it, it's gonna be hard to stir. And I'm strong, but I ride. But I ride.
Now, what you want me to do? Stir it up?
You gotta stir it up really good though.
Yeah, I figured that.
Make sure it's completely mixed.
Alright, y'all. Well, like she say, you gotta stir it up. Alright, so like she say, you gotta stir it up real good. You can tell the difference. It look like you can see the different colors in it, but
Yeah, it almost looks shimmery.
yeah, it do. Definitely gonna have a high gloss. This right here is thick. Walk up, it's gonna come through dripping, man. Get you a little paint mixer. You can get these from Lowe's, Home Depot. They give them out for free. All you gotta do is buy paint. If you're buying stuff, you can get these pretty much for free.
So again, like I said, we're using our teal powder, purple, and black.
As y'all can see, I'm still mixing. A lot of mixing going on, but this thing look like glass.
That's what the tabletop was gonna look like.
You know what I'm saying? We finna have that straight drop on y'all out here. For sure. F.O. Sure. You keep on mixing while she mixing. And as I'm stirring this, you can actually see like bubbles. You know the kind of bubbles that you get when you do like a dawn or whatever. Bubbles are popping up out of it. That's tight. And like I say, it's thick, glossy. Definitely ooey gooey. Which maybe I'm really thinking about going back around this table one more time with some tape.
That'll be fine.
Just because I'd rather be safe than sorry. And yeah, feel me? Because I've been dipping, man. Oh, sorry for the plane. The outside though is wrong.
How much powder you put in your end is going to determine your color, so that's all up to you.
You ain't put all that powder in there? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are we gonna use it? We ain't gonna use it for nothing else, will we? Shit, purple that thing down, baby. Shit, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Say we use the whole thing and the whole thing. We want some more. We can make sure it's lavish, as purple and black is one of my favorite colors. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens.
Our wedding colors also purple and black.
Let's show.
Royalty, baby.
This is the best time, y'all. It's early in the morning. Like I say, we got up early, get this knocked out, man, because you gotta let this dry. Once we put this stuff on here, it needs to dry 24 hours before we put anything on it. Before we mess with it in any type of way, 24 hours. What we're actually going to end up doing before we leave, well, before we actually pour this stuff on, we're going to move to under our gazebo and
For protection, so we get more rain, which they are calling for tonight.
it'll at least be protected from that. You don't want to be moving it after you already done set it up or whatever.
So we just went back and put our tabletop over top of where it's gonna actually sit. Plus this is gonna help us for later if we get rain. So that way we won't have to worry about water dripping onto it while it dries. So it's in position. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna pour 2 coats of your clear mixtures. Your first coat doesn't have to be as thick in consistency. So you're basically using this to cover your excuse me, your tabletop, and then the rest will go on top once you apply your colors to it.
It's gonna level itself out. As long as you started it out level, remember what, look, the level, it don't cost that much, y'all. Good old tape, it look like we kind of sealed real good. I'm hoping, hey, and then, you know.
And you can also use your heat gun, which we're gonna use in just a second, to help get your bubbles.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's a couple bubbles in there. Get those bubbles out with your heat gun. Hubby went to go grab a extension cord so we can plug up our heat gun. You're gonna do your heat gun before applying your color to your resin. And you can use your heat gun too to help with your design of your colors too.
If you don't have a heat gun, you can use a hair dryer. What you say, you just really get your bubbles. We'll put this on high. Like you say, we'll help it set up by doing this as well. If y'all notice, I'm gonna hit the outside first. You don't want to direct heat it on nothing, like leaving it on there. If you know about heat guns or hair dryers, y'all know they get real hot. So, right now, I'm just helping it set up. You'll see the air bubbles, the heat bubbles. It's tight, actually. Like I say, and it is self-leveling. So, start off level, you're going to end off level. Please believe it. Please believe it. And then this is imperfection. It's a perfect imperfection. So what you're looking at right now, how you might be, oh God, blah, 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 it's going to turn out great. At least I think it is.
This is what our blue powder looked like once we stirred it in. And so it's up to you on how you place it on your table. You can either just take the cup and pour it on, or you can use your stick that you mixed it with to give it a little design. See the drizzle. And you do it wherever you want it to go.
Why is this stuff doing that?
It does that. It smokes. We said it on the video.
So, if you see it smoking, y'all, I don't know if y'all can see that.
Out.
Don't freak out, because, ooh. Looking lovely, huh? Then after you put some of your coloring and stuff in, I think you're going to use that heat gun again, right?
Yep. Now I'm going to go to the purple. Oh, and I like how this stick is broken because it's giving it another look. Awesome. Some people actually take the time to, you could have drew a design on your actual tabletop to put your color down.
That's tight.
And then our black. I know you guys are going to be like, that's not black, but We do believe that once it sets up, it'll darken up a little bit. And even if it doesn't, it's okay. It'll still be showable. Hopefully, and if not, then we still got our blue and teal. Right.
So guys, our black didn't go in like we wanted it to, but as you can see, our teal,
purple looks beautiful.
yeah.
Put a little bit more teal and then a little more purple.
On the first layer? Okay. Like I say, we'll just do the black on the top. Is it eating that thing up or something?
Keeping that thing up.
I wonder why do it smoke.
I know.
How long we gotta let this first one dry?
I think it said an hour.
Okay. Yeah, so we can. Oh yeah. Just gonna get a little.
Little shimmer to it. You want to miss, guys. A miss for your shimmer. Go. Doesn't take much of this. It's really glittery. We're gonna put another layer of it anyway. My last coat. I'm loving this, guys, already. Cannot wait to sit there and just enjoy it. We're just adding a little heat to help to our drying time.
Back at it again. Actually, we actually had to go get some more resin because you actually should put it all on at one time. We did not put it all on at one time, and it kind of turned into glass in the bucket on us. So just remember, make sure that you pour it all on at one time. But like I say, we own it. We getting the bubbles out and stuff, you know, trial and error, DIY, it is what it is. And after you do this, you use your little heat gun to kind of give it, let the air bubbles get out like we said before. Then you want to wait about 20-25 minutes and take your tape off. You're going to let it run down the sides. Use your little brush to kind of brush it in. Make sure you don't do it in 2 steps. Well, alright y'all, it done been like 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and take the tape off. We're gonna let it ooze down the sides. Make sure you got your plastic down. We're gonna take and brush it in. Make sure you cover all your sides so your nice color or clear or whatever however you want to play it. It's gonna be on your sides. Like I say, make sure you got your plastic down. And we're gonna get to it. Well, alright y'all, like I say, you take it off and make sure you do your little brush, simple little brushes, don't have to be nothing fancy or whatever. That's pretty much it. I hope it all turned out good for y'all like it did for us. I want y'all to make sure y'all smash that like button. Definitely leave us a comment and let us know how your tape turned out if you tried to do it it at home yourself. It's your man Reggie.
Your girl LA.
We out.
Peace.
Don't trust no chick that
Oh, make sure y'all subscribe.
Subscribe.
Hey, subscribe.
Subscribe.
You learn a lot of stuff. Gonna get some laughs. A lot of DIYs, man. Hey, we trying to hit it at all points. We out.
Don't trust no chick that messing with your dog. That law. If you come up, don't forget about your dog. That law. I'm a street, so it's the law. If you broke, that should be against the law.